When you think of some of the best power systems in anime, most would say Nen from Hunter x Hunter or Alchemy from Full Metal Alchemist, both of which I strongly agree with. But if a power system is straight botch BBL kinda ass, I never really thought about it. That is until I started to watch To Be Hero X. Now wait, hold up, don't kill me just yet. Although I'm just under halfway through this season, this show has been dope to watch, and honestly, I haven't been enjoying anime like this since Freerun. But, as I've stated, To Be Hero X's power system might be at the top of the list for the worst power systems I've ever seen. Again, chill out, I'm not dissing the show. Do I find the whole idea of anyone being able to become a hero through the trust value interesting and creative? Yes I do. I love the idea, but I can't help but think about what that would look like in our world, which is why I feel like this would be the absolute worst power system to have. First, let me go over this power system real quick. Trust value is the trust and belief the public have in a hero, which is used to give a hero their powers. The more trust the public have in them, the stronger they are. With enough trust, anyone can develop abilities and become a hero. Also, from what I've seen thus far, this hero agency will find people with a high trust value and turn them into heroes. Also, as you'd imagine, it's possible to lose trust. Kinda like when you're vibing with someone, but then they tell you that they're an Evangelion fan. The more trust that's lost, the less powerful an individual becomes. You know, it's dope how a person can simply look down on their wrist and see their value, kinda like that one Justin Timberlake movie. Although I'm pretty sure their numbers represented their life. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Anyway, having this power thrusted onto you out of nowhere does seem pretty dope. The perception of the trust from the public will have an influence on the hero's life though. The best example that you see of this early on in the show is good old Firm Man here. His fans wished that he would remain ever standing, which prevented him from ever doing simple things like bending. Like imagine being Thanos here, you have the Infinity Stones in your hand but you accidentally drop them, and now the Avengers are hot on your ass, and you can't bend down to pick them up. You're done. What kind of shit is that? This man couldn't lay down. If he wanted to rest his back, he'd have to strap himself up against his bed, vertically. Imagine sleeping vertically, because your fan base wished for you to be a certain way. If anything, the ones who truly hold the power is the public. They give you your powers and they can take it away, which is why it would be in a hero's best interest, as well as the agency's, if they remain as perfect as possible to keep living up to their perception that they themselves have created. Like imagine a Flash being given his super speed in this world, and the public wish for him to always be on the run, catching all crime right as it begins to unfold. The Flash would be running non-stop. What a cursed ass wish. What a miserable ass life. Which brings me to my real issue with this power system. Again, if it's realistically brought into our world, I see the bullshit people entertain on the daily. I've seen the people the public have made popular and given fame to. I'm not going to get political here, but just scroll through some comments on any controversial topic in the world today and tell me how civilized it is in there. I'm sure you'll find no racism, no hate speech, no division, right? It's not like there are public figures in the world who are taking the charge in some of these talking points and stances, which is why there's no reason to think that them getting a high trust value to become a powerful and threatening person with large groups of people backing them to be a safe thing, right? Oh boy, too much? Let me pick something easier to digest. Some of you might know who Ted Bundy is, a serial killer who confessed to taking the lives of 30 women. That man had groupies in spite of being a serial killer. Those women would have been doing tricks on it despite knowing that he was a serial killer. Hell, you don't even need to go as far as Ted Bundy. Just look at any time there's a mugshot of anyone online who's attractive and gets arrested. Of course, a fair share of comments are jokes because people who are chronically online have to find humor in everything. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sometimes that person too. But there are always people in the crowd who are dead serious. Now, if you're familiar with To Be Hero X, then you could argue that someone having a small group of people contributing to someone's trust value doesn't ensure that they'll have power, and definitely not something crazy like the top heroes. But let's really get down to how dangerous it would be to live in a world like this, given the way our world operates. Forget the bots and trolls on social media and just look at how a lot of these industries in real life work. How many times have you seen someone rise to the top of popularity damn near overnight, and once they've come across your feed, it's like the algorithm is forcing them down your throat? These industries create plants. Yes, people who come out of nowhere who already have a machine behind them, pumping everything for them to reach the masses, isn't just some conspiracy. There would be so many nices out here that it would make you sick. It would get to a point where more of us would end up becoming enlightened. Straight haters who are dedicated in exposing the phony bullshit that these money-hungry industries create to fill their fat pockets. We would only ever see these plants' good side. Having a powerful agency and a powerful team behind them, they'd have their dirt covered up with the swiftness. We would seriously have idiots out here faking situations to post online, pulling off some fake heroic shit trying to get their trust value up. Just the mere thought of it being possible to have power granted to you with a bunch of fans and supporters adoring you, worshipping you, and giving you all the attention in the world would entice so many people that people would be faking shit left and right for views. I mean, they kinda already do that, but you see just how dangerous that could be. This trend would only exacerbate, and even if social media were to get oversaturated with all of this phony baloney, with people desperately trying to drive up their trust value up the wazoo, some people would still make it through. Just say one person turns out to be a Mr. Beast, seemingly doing heroic, altruistic things, and gets extremely popular doing it, only for them to secretly be on some sinister Homelander shit. Oh, we'd be fucked. And realistically, the world of To Be Hero X should be fucked as well. Again, take none of these as criticisms against To Be Hero X, as I'm enjoying the show so far. And maybe I'm making this video prematurely and yapping too damn much as I'm nearly halfway through watching it, but the possibility of someone nefarious rising to become a hero while secretly having ill intentions seems like a dangerous thing that I can't get over for the life of me. Now, some can make the argument that in other pieces of media, that people can still do fuck shit with their world's power system as well. But the difference here is that the people deem you worthy of that power, whereas in other pieces of media, the people with ill intentions who want to destroy or cripple the world have to put their work in. They gotta put in the hours. They gotta put in some sweat equity. If a villain is gonna be on some evil shit, I'd sleep better at night knowing that the public didn't serve them their power and abilities on a platter to use to oppress us.
But if they were wilding out in public, they'd lose their power because everyone would lose trust in them.
Yeah, sure they would. The trust value would create so many disingenuous people for clout, in addition to there being the threat of the wrong people gaining trust and fate placed in them, and that will always be insane to me. Look no further than people who rose to power in history, and imagine the damage they'd do if they had this trust value system to exploit. But hey, why am I even bringing up realism in an anime in the first place?